Good evening. Welcome to the Rebel Jiu-Jitsu Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Daniel. This is episode 5, Fight Week Part 2. It's Friday, 5:50. I'm driving home on Boulder City Parkway back to my home. We just had our kids competition team practice. Our kids program is Monday through Thursday, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, and Saturday at 10 a.m. So I have 3 kids classes. Some kids do a couple days a week, a couple classes a week. Some kids do 3 hours a day. Okay, so some kids, it's just a hobby. They're balancing jiu-jitsu with other sports. But for some kids, jiu-jitsu is their main sport. And they're really working to get ready to compete and do some tournaments. So I'm very excited for this tournament, for the kids to showcase all the hard work they've been putting in. Okay, these kids have been training for months. It's their first local tournament, NAGA Vegas, February 11, 2023. So I had a little practice with them. I added a practice this afternoon because I'm sure they got butterflies going. I'm sure they're a little nervous. They should be, right? They got to go fight someone on Saturday. Always nerve-wracking. But they've been training hard. They know jiu-jitsu. It's going to be easier than a normal day at class. Just a couple matches. Fun times. Okay? I did a practice with them today just to go over a few last-minute things before the tournament. Some choke escapes. Some basic game planning. Some guard passing. So basic strategy, pass their guard, take their back, choke them out. Okay, let's all just focus on that. That's an easy one, right? That's a classic, textbook jiu-jitsu. If everyone does that, easy day. But again, some kids are going to win, some kids are going to lose. Either way, I just want to try to make this experience as good as possible for them because I know how stressful and intense a competition could be. There's going to be over 1,000 kids competing, or grown-ups and kids competing. I have over 20 people from my school doing the tournament. And we have a small school, guys, less than 100 people. So to have 20 people doing this competition, it's really cool. I'm really excited. I think we have something special at our academy. It's about quality. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. And we'll have as many kids and grown-ups fighting at this tournament as schools with 300 people, 400 people in them. You know what I mean? But they can all get it. So, very excited for this event. I got some kids doing no-gi, some kids doing gi. It's all just jiu-jitsu, though. My beautiful wife, she made some t-shirts for all the kids. So every single kid, we gave them a t-shirt on us. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's about so much more than business for me. Okay, I did NAGA tournaments when I was a kid in 2002, 2003, 20 years ago now. Okay? Not to do a long sob story, but when I was 14, my dad died. I quit jiu-jitsu. And jiu-jitsu was the number one thing in my life. My favorite hobby, my favorite activity. A big part of my identity. When I was a teenager, I kind of fell out of that. And a few years later, picked it back up. But I always, from that point on, my goal, especially with my school now, is to be the person that I needed back then. I had some great jiu-jitsu coaches, so I'm thankful for all the coaches I've had. Growing up in New Jersey, moving out to California, I've learned so much from my coaches, so grateful to them. And now I just want to be there for the kids in my program, no matter what they're going through. For some of them, the hardest thing they're ever going to do is this tournament. You know what I mean? They got a great life. They got mom and dad. They got a nice big house. They got an iPad. They got a smartwatch. They're living the dream, right? The hardest thing, maybe the hardest day of their life might be this NAGA Vegas. So I just want to be there for them to make it a fun experience, win or lose, okay? I'm getting butterflies. Wow, this is going to be a fun event. So the doors are going to open at 8 a.m. Everyone's got to be weighed in by like 9:30. So all the parents, any parents listening to the podcast, make sure you get there nice and early. I'll be there 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I have kids doing it. I have teens doing it. I have adults doing it. I have masters doing it. So it's going to be a big day of training. For the kids, again, it's just about learning. I had some parents said, "Oh, can my son do the tournament?" And I said, "You know what? He should wait. Okay? If they're not ready, they're not ready. If they haven't been doing the in-house tournaments, if they haven't been training a lot, then I don't want kids to get discouraged, have a bad experience. It's going to be a very intense event. Samurai swords, dragon logos. It's going to be crazy. But the kids I have doing this tournament are 100% prepared. I told some of the parents, hey, you know what? They should do no gi and gi because I know your kids are going to do so well. They can definitely get double gold. So I can't wait to see these kids show the work we've been putting in. You know what I mean? These kids don't know how to long step, so let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Long step, knee slide, let's go. So just wanted to give one more update before the big day. I'll be talking about the NAGA Vegas. I'm going to watch these UFC fights, so I have something to talk about on the podcast. You know what I mean? Just for business. I guess I better order the UFC fights as well, just so I can talk about that big champ versus champ, Volkanovski versus Makhachev title fight. Again, this podcast is kind of like a phone call. Okay? I'm on speakerphone. I'm on my iPhone. I'm driving home from work. All right, if you want to listen to an interview with a genius scientist recorded on $1,000 microphones, hey, go listen to Joe Rogan, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a 31-year-old jiu-jitsu teacher talking about my life. But listen to this. I mean, listen to my podcast. It's way better. More authentic, more raw. I had some kids tell me, oh, I'm listening to the podcast. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me keep it as professional as possible then. And just try to give you guys some insight. Okay, I have another episode planned where I'm going to go over some gis. Just simple gis. You know what I mean? What are the best gis? What are the best gis for the price? What are the best Amazon cheap little gis you can get your kid? Cheap gis you can recommend to your brother-in-law to start doing jiu-jitsu. And what's the very best gi? We already know the answer. Shoyu-roll. By choice. Never by chance. This podcast is also brought to you by Anchor. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? Well, you can. Just download Anchor on your iPhone. You can record the whole podcast on your phone. No crazy equipment. No studio booking fees. No engineer. Just you, your phone, and your story. So, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 5. That's that. I'll see you guys at the NAGA Vegas. It's going to be a crazy day. Going to be a lot of fun. Okay, remember, guys, the most intimidating thing you can do is smile. All right, I'm going to tell that to all the kids. Someone sees you with a smile on at a jiu-jitsu tournament, they're all nervous and scared. They're going to be like, what's he happy about? What's she happy about? You're happy because you're doing jiu-jitsu. Okay, whoever has the most fun wins. There's so many tournaments. There's a tournament every weekend. You're going to win some. You're going to lose some. It's just about having fun. Getting choked, not that fun. But jiu-jitsu is always fun no matter what. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the mats. You know what? Getting choked is fun too. I take that back. Getting choked is fun. Choking people is fun. Jiu-jitsu is fun. That's why we do it. All right, get a good night's sleep. Eat some healthy food. I'll see you on the mats.